Right, just because it's FHA doesn't mean they don't have
No,
the money.
in a lot
Oh,
of,
yeah.
and in
Yeah.
certain areas, like I do a lot of work in Hudson County, a lot of two families in Bayonne. In order to do a conventional loan to family, you need 15% down. Some of these two family houses are 650, 700,000. The buyers don't have it. They may have 10% down, but they don't have the 15 or the 20. So we do a FHA loan. And they're able to get in there with less than 15% down and be able to, I'm doing one now for like 840,000, I think. The buyers are putting 5% down. So great buyers, great credit, great income, perfect. It's just they had enough money for 5% down, enough money for closing, enough money for reserves. They didn't have the 15% down to do it. So it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I look at it all the time as, the selling agent where I have the listing, or, when you have the buyer, you try to explain to the other agents. But when I look at these contracts coming in, FHA or whatever, you know what? It doesn't bother me, because you have a lot of these agents, hey, I know I'm FHA, I don't have a shot, whatever. You know what? They're not asking for closing costs. They're just as the other one.
Sure.
And I look at the FHA loans too. You know what? If they're qualified for FHA, 99% of the time they're getting that loan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Other people can be qualified for a conventional with 25, 30, 50% down and can still get denied the loan. So you just don't know.
Yeah, FHA is more liberal, a little bit more liberal with credit, with debt to income ratios. So, but you've been around a while, so you've seen back, in the 90s where, FHA was a viable option. It was prevalent. Many of the loans were FHA.
Yeah.
For a lot of realtors who are newer in the business, they never, especially since the pandemic, they never had to deal with FHA. So it's almost like a foreign language. Oh, FHA, oh, no.
Yeah, people, I think at least, it's not that I thought that, but a lot of people were telling me that, they don't have the money, which isn't right. They're putting less down. Doesn't mean they don't have a lot of money. They're
Exactly.
saving it to fix something up for something else, whatever. So it's not like
No. And what I do
it's
is...
not necessarily a bad thing. Like
No, not at all.
And-
I had I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just had the one where waiving the appraisal, FHA 3.5 down. They had 50% in the bank. They showed me proof of funds.
Yeah.
But they're going for FHA because they're saving the money.
Exactly.
They want to do work to the house.
What I do as a mortgage person, I like to say I'm like the custom tailor. You try to talk to the people and see, in this regard, what do you want to do? Well, I have the money, but I need to save it. So you kind of tailor what program you are to their best benefit. And in many instances, it is an FHA product. It may very well be. And you go, say, listen, in that case where that person could have went conventionally, it was important for them to hold that money in their account. So the FHA was more than a viable option, and they had enough money if the house underappraised to make up the difference.
right.
Right, and it's a good thing. Now, the only other drawback, the one drawback for FHA versus conventional is if you have someone flipping a house, okay? They have to own that house for
90
what?
days.
90 days or
90
180?
days. 90
I thought
days,
it was
and
180. Okay.
it's 90 days. I can't take an application from the 90 days. So if they flip the house and they want to say, okay, we'll close in 90 days, no. It's got to be from 90 days of that when they took the house over.
Okay, so
So-
they can't
Go ahead.
sell it. You're saying with-
Exactly. So
You can't write the
You can't write the
contract.
contract till they've owned it in their name 90 days.
Okay.
Once they've had it for 90 days, that 91st day, you could write the contract. I could do the application.
Now, is it from the date of the deed or the date of when they purchased it?
I believe
Some people are.
I believe it's the
conflicted.
actual date it's purchased. If you could document that date, then because sometimes by the time, especially now since the pandemic, by the time the deed is recorded, it may be months afterwards.
Right.
So if you could document from the closing that I closed on such and such a date, and you're 90 days past that, then we're okay.